The room went silent before he even finished his first line. Not the polite kind of silence you hear on TV talent shows, but that uneasy, breath-held quiet where people don't quite know what they're about to witness. You could see it on the judges' faces. You could feel it through the screen. A middle-aged drama teacher, standing alone under the blinding lights of Britain's Got Talent, smiling just a little too confidently, as if he knew something the rest of the room didn't yet understand. And for a split second, a lot of viewers thought the same thing: oh no, this is about to be awkward. But then Andrew Curphey opened his mouth. And everything changed. I've been reading through your comments on the last few videos, and I see some of you calling out the drama. Some of you saying, come on, this feels staged, or, another feel-good TV moment that's too perfect to be real. Honestly, I get it. In a world packed with scripted reality shows and AI-generated stories, it's hard to trust anything at face value anymore. I felt the exact same way when this clip first landed on my screen. I rolled my eyes, I sighed, I almost scrolled past it. But something made me stop. I went back. I watched the raw audition footage, not the flashy edits, not the viral clips. And what I found didn't just surprise me, it genuinely hit me in the chest. Before we get into the heavy stuff, I just want to say this: I'm doing this for you, to bring real moments back into the spotlight. So if you appreciate that, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. It's the only way we keep this space honest and human. Because Andrew Curphey's audition wasn't just fabulous. It wasn't just entertaining. It was the kind of moment that sneaks up on you, disarms you, and then leaves you thinking about it hours later. To understand why this audition mattered so much, you have to understand who Andrew Curphey really is. Not the version you see on stage for 2 minutes, but the man behind the smile. Andrew isn't a pop star. He isn't an influencer. He isn't someone who's been chasing fame his whole life. He's a drama teacher. The kind of teacher students remember 20 years later. The kind who stays late after school, who fights for arts funding, who tells shy kids they're allowed to take up space in the world. For decades, Andrew lived a life that rarely gets applause. Early mornings, lesson plans, school plays held together with borrowed costumes and hope. He taught students how to project their voices while quietly shrinking his own dreams. And here's the part people don't always want to talk about: being openly fabulous, openly theatrical, openly yourself isn't always celebrated in classrooms, especially years ago. Andrew grew up in a time where standing out meant being targeted. He learned how to make others shine while stepping slightly out of the spotlight himself. Friends have said he was always the loudest cheerleader in the room, but the last one to step forward. He encouraged others to audition, others to sing, others to dream big. And year after year, he stayed behind the curtain. So when Andrew walked onto the Britain's Got Talent stage, it wasn't just a man auditioning. It was decades of restraint finally letting go. At first, the audience didn't know what to do with him. You could sense that familiar tension that comes whenever someone doesn't fit neatly into a box. Social media later admitted it too. One comment on X read, "I thought this was going to be another joke act. I feel bad for thinking that now." Another said, "Why do we always underestimate teachers?" And that's where the story really starts to twist. Andrew didn't introduce himself with some tragic backstory. He didn't lead with pain. He led with joy, with humor, with confidence. And when the music started, something electric happened. It wasn't just singing. It was storytelling. It was acting. It was release. His performance was bold, expressive, unapologetic. Fabulous in the truest sense of the word. You could see Simon Cowell lean forward. Amanda Holden's expression softened. The crowd started to shift from curiosity to awe. And I know what you're thinking right now: okay, but lots of auditions get standing ovations. Wait until you hear this. Within minutes of the audition airing, the internet exploded. TikTok was flooded with reaction videos. People filming themselves crying, laughing, replaying the moment Andrew hit certain notes or delivered certain expressions. One TikTok comment with thousands of likes said, "This man taught kids for 30 years and just taught the world a lesson in 2 minutes." But not everyone was on the same side. On Reddit, the debates got heated. One thread titled, "Is Andrew Curphey actually good or just emotional bait?" blew up overnight. Some users accused the show of editing magic. Others pushed back hard. One reply read, "You can't edit authenticity like that. You either feel it or you don't." And then there was Facebook, where former students started appearing in the comments. This is where things got deeply personal. People claiming Andrew was their teacher, sharing stories about how he helped them through bullying, how he gave them confidence, how he told them it was okay to be different. One comment said, "Mr. Curphey saved my life when I was 15. Seeing him on that stage feels like justice." That's layer 1 of the reveal. This wasn't a random audition. This was a man whose impact had already rippled through hundreds of lives. Layer 2 hit a little later, when viewers noticed something subtle. Andrew wasn't nervous. At all. Not the shaky, performative confidence we sometimes see, but calm, grounded certainty. People started asking why. That's when interviews and old clips resurfaced. Andrew had spent years directing school productions, standing in front of crowds, guiding performances. This stage wasn't foreign to him. He'd just never claimed it for himself before. Layer 3 came from Andrew himself. In a post-show interview, he admitted something that stopped a lot of people cold. He said he almost didn't audition. That he filled out the application and closed it. Opened it again. Closed it again. He said a small voice in his head kept telling him, "You're too old. You missed your chance." How many of you have heard that voice before? How many dreams have quietly expired because of it? Layer 4 is where the emotion really deepens. After the audition aired, Andrew received messages from teachers across the world. Burnt-out teachers, underpaid teachers, teachers questioning whether any of it mattered. One teacher tweeted, "Watching Andrew reminded me why I started teaching drama in the first place." And suddenly, this wasn't just about talent. It was about validation. But here's the part that truly broke the internet. Layer 5, the final reveal, didn't come from the show at all. It came from a quiet comment Andrew made off camera. He revealed that one of his former students, who had struggled deeply with identity and self-worth, had passed away years earlier. Andrew said he carried that student with him onto the stage. That every note, every expression, was for the kids who never got the chance to stand confidently in their truth. That's when the audition stopped being entertainment and started feeling like a release of grief, love, and pride all at once. When people rewatched the audition after learning that, they saw it differently. The tears made sense. The joy felt heavier. The applause sounded deeper. So I want to ask you something. When was the last time you saw someone step into themselves fully, not for fame, not for money, but because they finally gave themselves permission? Andrew Curphey didn't just audition for Britain's Got Talent. He reminded millions that it's never too late to be seen. That fabulous isn't about glitter or volume. It's about truth. And sometimes, the quietest heroes are the ones who've been teaching others how to shine all along. And if you're still skeptical, that's okay. But maybe, just maybe, this was one of those rare moments where television actually captured something real.